What they do, y'all. How y'all doing out there? Tribe of Aces and Jewels. Hopefully you all had a great week. You can see that we back with another one, right? We back with a spicy one today, and I brought an ace on deck. And I want the ace to introduce himself. So introduce yourself, bro.
I'm Tavarse, Washington.
What you about, man?
Money.
And what else, man?
Health.
Wealth. Yeah. And wealth. Right. So we're back with a spicy one today. We're talking about a man's security. All right. What they do. This your boy DP.
This your girl T.
And we're the Geminis Gemz, representing for the Geminis across the world, giving our own Miami perspective.
For sure. So
you can follow us on all podcast platforms at Geminis Gemz.
Also follow us on Instagram, Geminis_Gems, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Geminis Gemz.
Hey, make sure you like, follow, you comment, and you subscribe. Yes. And make sure when you type it in, it's Geminis with the S, Gems with a Z. And what we do, T?
Drop them gems.
Drop them gems. So we back. So we're talking about man's security, a man's security, and what makes a man's security. So the reason for me bringing on Tavarse is the fact that I understand that he's an individual that is a person that is secure within himself, right? And he's a family-oriented guy, as well as he is a man of health, right? So tell them what you do on the side, bro.
Well, I make and sell sea moss.
Mm-hmm. And what you do with that? Like, what made you come about, doing that?
Well, I got into sea moss a couple years ago with them because I learned the benefits of it.
Right.
I think it's great benefits. I think it's better than like any type of medication.
Gotcha.
Medication has nothing but chemicals in it, and actually, medication is just like a Band-Aid on the wrist.
Gotcha. On a sore.
Right.
I got you on that one. And he already starting with dropping gems for y'all tribe. So we are talking about the man. What makes a man secure? Right. And I put down some things. I put down the mental, physical, financial, and social. Right. And so as we begin to unfold what makes a man secure, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and even chime in. You get what I'm saying? By putting a comment below. All right. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. Go ahead and hit that subscription button right now. We appreciate it. And we thank you all so far for liking, commenting, and subscribing. All right. So let's begin. What makes a man secure, right? I put mental. So what you think about the mental?
Mental, yes, of course. That's just confidence.
Gotcha.
You have to just always believe in yourself no matter what.
Gotcha. So with the confidence,
right?
What confidence do you think a man needs out here today?
To able to speak for himself, to also to defend for himself.
Defend his, yeah,
right,
yeah.
I think that's very point right there. Because most men have other people speak for them, which is not good.
Right.
So always think for yourself.
Gotcha. I like that. Thinking for yourself and speaking up for yourself. Because sometimes what I see is that out there in the world, I see that individuals, they kind of lay back. Like, let's say we out and about, and I see a male and a female. Usually the female is doing all this rapping and stuff like that, and the guy just sitting out there just letting her do. I remember one time we had watched the Floyd Mayweather fight.
Yeah. And
you remember you had just gotten married and stuff like that, and the guy that was across the street from Ed and them people crib.
Yeah.
He had said to you, he was like, you got to do the honeydew. Like just say like basically honey. Okay. Right. Honey and stuff like that. Yeah. And I always thought that wasn't a good thing.
Nah, it wasn't. No.
You get what I'm saying? Right. I felt like as a man, you shouldn't have to say, honey, can I, or honey, do I? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And just to be the yes man. Right?
Yeah.
I believe that you have to stand on your own too, and stand up for yourself and be able to guide.
Right.
And I know you have to do that mentally.
Right.
First of all, being mentally strong. Right.
Right.
So I also put down structure. Right. Have structure within oneself mentally.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So what you think about that?
I think it's very important. Without structure and discipline, like you'll be all over the place.
I agree.
Just stay disciplined to whatever that you do.
Mm-hmm. So what you think about, like, what I think about it is following, right?
That's not good.
Right.
But a follower, well, if you think about this, right, a leader was once a good follower.
Right.
So you have to be one at first to be able to lead.
Gotcha. So what I think about following, you got to follow something good first.
Right.
Right. And then following, I was thinking about, as you were talking with the structure, some people's structure is so like off, but yet we are following those things like drinking, smoking.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Using profanity,
right.
Not being a man of your word and different things like that.
Right.
So what you got to say with that?
Well, I think this structure comes with within. You have to figure out like how you want your life to be.
Gotcha.
Once you figure that out, then are you able to take like the next step?
Gotcha. I like that. So let's talk about purpose, since you have to figure out what your goals are within life. So what about purpose? How do you feel about purpose?
Well, purpose is something that God installed in you. A lot of people don't know their purpose. So like I was once that person before. So I had to do praying and like ask God for like overtime, whatever, to find out what's my purpose. And he actually seen you purpose in different ways.
Gotcha. What ways could they be?
I mean, it varies.
Okay. In what direction?
I mean, it could be any direction. I mean, like, for example, like you could be at a store, right?
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Like you and your purpose could probably be helping people, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So, and then like once you help someone, like, and you get that feeling of, damn, man, this should feel good. Yeah. Now you know what you're supposed to be doing with your life.
Right. I like that. Purpose, I think purpose, it does come in rare form, right? It hits you different, right? It's like you said, after it's done,
right?
You
get that feeling.
Yeah, you get a great feeling.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So sometimes purpose is to help. Sometimes purpose is to guide. Like I'm glad I guide someone in the right direction. Right. So it's kind of how you harness it. How do you conjure it up?
Right.
And I think it comes with trying different things, especially when you're young. Yeah. And then sticking to whatever gravitates towards you, that becomes like easy.
Right.
But yet with purpose, you still need a plan. Right. So what you think about a plan?
Plan is always good because, like you have to always plan your work your plan.
Gotcha. I like that.
Sometimes whatever, like plans don't go as planned, but you know, but just find out what actually works for you. Sometimes you got to try it twice. You know what I'm saying? Like just to figure out like if it actually works.
Right.
And something that is easy, I think that's something that you should be doing, but you still have to work hard at it as well.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think about as, I was growing up, or you could think about you with the boxing. Right. So, he's a champion, y'all. So don't get it twisted. Right. So you accomplish a lot throughout your life. But as you was on your journey, I know you hit some hiccups. You got hit.
Of course.
Maybe knocked. I don't remember you getting knocked down, but you probably stumbled or whatever.
Of course.
You know what it was, but then you end up redeeming yourself by being, consistent and sticking to the plan. Whatever strategy you may have had when you was in the ring. Right. Now you apply that to life.
Right. Of course. I mean, to me, I take life like playing chess. You have to just think ahead.
Strategize, basically.
Right. Just think. Like, outthink like outthink like the other person.
Gotcha. To get the mission accomplished, as well as future. Since you brought that out,
future, yes. I mean, you know what? Like a future is something that you look forward to, but you got to work on it on a consistent basis.
I like it. I want to chime in a little bit deep for a moment.
All right.
So knowing that you want to, let's say, get to the
next level,
right? How do you strategize? Like, how do you plan? How do you plan?
Well, you know what? I write things down.
Gotcha.
And I pray.
Gotcha.
And I ask God for directions.
Gotcha.
And I wait for His time, because a lot of times, whatever, I try to do things on my own and it don't work out.
Gotcha.
So I always wait for Him. And whenever He give me the green light, I just go.
Gotcha. I like that. Let me drop a gem for you. So I was thinking about something that you and I talked about. Is one thing I do is when I'm strategizing or if I'm planning for my future is I have a vision board. Right. So I remember when we was talking, you was like, "Oh, I walked in your room and you had what you said I had."
Yeah. So I remember when we was young or whatever. He had a board on his wall and he added up all his bills and he put his check, like whatever he made, whatever he put it on there, and then he wrote down the bills that he got to pay. Also, he wrote how much he have left, and then he put some in the savings. Also, he put his tithes on the side as well. And I never forgot that. Since we were small, he always been organized.
Gotcha. Appreciate that. But with that, I was thinking about like I also have a vision board. Right. So I write down the vision of my life.
And how you see yourself going there.
Right. And I think that we need to chime in and tap into that as individuals. What you think, bro?
Yes. I think that's good because you always got to manifest. You got to always like think about where I want to be in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Like there's no rush, but just be consistent.
Gotcha. I like that.
It's going to come in due time, but just be patient and don't be so hard on yourself.
Gotcha.
Don't, because like life is already hard.
Right.
So don't be hard on yourself. Just take it day by day. Go from there. That's it.
And there's one thing that you brought up before. They may not know, but you said that you plan day to day.
Right. No, I said I plan weekly and monthly. So friends or whatever, I might plan maybe 5 things that I want to get done that week. Right. So I do that every day. I do that like every week.
Right.
Then I make monthly goals. Right.
Gotcha.
So whatever I didn't do in that week, I just put it for the next week, then next week, then next week, and then I make monthly goals too. So when I make monthly goals, whatever, I might write down 10 things, right? Now, I might probably do maybe 7.
Okay.
Right? But then whatever I didn't do, I just put it on the next month and then go from there.
Okay. Since you brought that up, I want to talk about procrastination. Right. Procrastinating. What helped you to actually like get on top of the task, even though you didn't accomplish the whole 10, right? But you got the majority of it done. Right. So how do you feel about procrastinating? Cause me, bro, I procrastinate and I always push it off knowing that I even have the time, but I push it off thinking that something else is more important than the other. But what do you have with it?
Well, I think that like everybody does that. I think first thing in the morning, whatever, always do the things that's important and also do the things that's going to take you to the next level. Then like the rest of it, whatever, like you could just do if you get time to do it, whatever, but do the most important things first that's going to take you to the next level.
Gotcha. So we're gonna move on to the next thing, which is physical. I think this your cup of tea, right? What you thinking physically that we have to be secure in as a man? So before you break it down to us, I think about a physical security because women look for men to be, let's say, of course, mentally stable, right? They have peace, mind, structure, a future, right? Now, physically, you got to be physically fit to be in this world, especially nowadays. Other than that, eating the wrong thing or not taking care not being on a diet and stuff like that, you'll let yourself go.
Right.
And then you'll come to a demise, an early demise, right?
Yeah.
So what you got to say with that?
Well, I think this, like every man should work out if possible.
Gotcha.
I understand that, you know what I'm saying, like you have a job, you got responsibility, yes, but if you're not healthy, you're not able to do nothing. You can't even take care of your family or yourself. Mm-hmm. So I put health before money.
Okay. That's different. That's what's up. Keep going.
Yeah, so I put money before, health before money. Mm-hmm. And then from there, whatever, you know, like I am rich already.
Gotcha.
Because I'm already healthy. So like once I'm healthy, whatever, I could accomplish whatever I want to because I got my health.
I ain't never think about it like that.
Right.
Yeah, because you had us on the trail running for miles
at
the time.
Right. And I think that, no, it's like once you got your health, you got everything.
Gotcha.
So I think health is first, but matter of fact, put God first.
Of
and
course.
Then health.
Right.
You know, and then family, you know.
Right. And then making that money, right?
Right. Of course.
So we got the guidelines of that. So with that, working out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Also eating right.
Right.
So what you have because you have the CMOS business.
Right.
So what is that? The eating right and
listen.
conditioning.
So basically, whatever. Like eating right, it make you feel good inside, mentally, physically.
Right.
You know, make you feel good. Now, exercising, I think that's a plus too because once you start exercising, like your body is going to feel like I'm 21 again, you know, and you feel good inside. And I always told myself that I always want to be able to run around with my kids.
Right.
So I got to be healthy.
Right.
I got to work out.
Right. So I put hitting the gym, and also too, you talk about yoga. I mean, I don't believe in the word yoga, but I believe in stretching.
Well, yoga is a must. I didn't understand it until I got older and I started doing it. And then, like, once I started doing it, whatever, I noticed that, like, my body was starting to change, but it changed in a good way.
Gotcha.
You know?
More of a positive.
Right. And then I noticed that when you sleep, like, some people sleep on their side. So basically, whatever, like, it's like your bone, it's like your back is starting to like fold some, right? Mm-hmm. But when you wake up, try to stretch, yoga, something, you know what I'm saying? To like actually get your spinal cord back straight.
Gotcha. Yeah. And what about seeing a doctor since you said?
Yes. Yeah. So with that saying, whatever, like a doctor is a substitute.
Okay.
You know, you should be your own doctor. You have to take care of yourself first.
Right.
And then also you could go to a doctor as well.
Right.
So a doctor is just like, you know, somebody that you can go to, but try to take care of yourself first.
Gotcha. So you got to look into things.
Right, of course.
What to eat, what not to eat.
Right.
And how do you stay on your diet and your regimen?
Well, you know what? Because like I said before, whatever, I want to feel good.
Right.
I want to be able to like run around with my kids, you know, and like I always want to be energetic.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, especially in the bedroom.
Yes, of course. Listen, man, that's a must.
Right.
That's a must.
I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so we're gonna move on to the financial. Right. Mm-hmm. So with security, we understand we must, like you had mentioned before, during a private conversation, providing.
Right.
So I put his money. So you have to provide money. Right. Understand how to make money. Spend money, save money, and contribute charitably. Right. So let's talk about understanding how to make money.
Right.
Real quick. So what you think about that?
Well, I think this. It's either you get a job or you go into business for yourself.
Right.
But if you have a job, pay yourself first. That's very important. Pay yourself first. And then whatever else you got to do, whatever you do. So like, I believe in the 70-30, right? Okay. So 70-30 is what you spend on what you got to do, right? So the other...
so that's the 70.
Yeah, 70.
Right.
So the 30% is basically whatever 10% go to savings, 10% go to investment, and the other 10% is going to whatever you want to do.
Gotcha. So what I have with making money is this. Men, aces, I believe this. I believe that you have to educate yourself in order how to make money. Right. So understanding how to make money, you must first understand what fields to get into. You get what I'm saying? Either becoming an entrepreneur or even working with someone. Because working with someone, you can't understand how to become an entrepreneur. Right. So let's say, for example, you want to open up a gym. Right. You have to first, I believe, work for the gym. So you can understand the hiccups, you get what I'm saying, the mistakes and different things like that, as well as understanding the background of it. We understand to build a gym, you must have equipment.
Right, of course.
Right. But then you don't know the functionality of it because you never knew about computers. You get what I'm saying? The financial attributes of it, how to start up the business and go to the bank and take out a loan. If you don't understand how to even start an LLC, then you won't even know the next phase to do in starting the gym. That's why some gyms you even see in Miami, they started, but they failed because they took the money and just went to spending without actually building into. So just a little background to it, you have to first understand what field you should get into. Like for me, I tell the guys, and I will tell the guys to get into STEM, which is the science, technology, engineering, and math, right? Because that's the one that's going to make your money. And I actually learned this from other guys, older guys. And also too, with entrepreneurial, not just being limited. Like just limit to your CMOS. You also indulge into real estate, and you mentioned one more thing.
Perfume.
Yeah. So now you're becoming more versatile. Not saying you don't focus on either one, but you focus on one at a time.
Right, of course.
You get what I'm saying? So I believe that's how you learn how to make money. You have to, like, for example, I had a friend of mine. He was like, man, I was just working mediocre jobs. And I say, bro, why not just get your CDLs? Start with your CDLs. You remember you came to me about that? Let's go. Let's get on the road. When we was younger. And I was telling him, get your CDLs so you can make a significant amount of money. And then from there, you can grow. From there. So what you have to say with that?
Well, I think this. People need to find out what they want to do with their life. Once they find out what they want to do, stick with that no matter what. Do hell and hot water. Stick through that. Don't try to play nothing safe. Nobody ever escape death. You go die one day.
Right.
So whatever you set your heart to do, go out and you go do it. Give it your all.
Gotcha.
That's it.
All right. So what about spending money?
Well, I mean, you spend money wisely.
Gotcha.
Get what you need
first.
And like if you're able to get what you want, that's when you do it.
Right. So what I have with that, spending money, I believe in order to spend, you must save, right? But in spending, I believe don't deprive yourself. Buy those things that you can afford more than just buying things because you say you have money in the bank. Because some people, like, they gamble. Some people buy expensive shoes. You get what I'm saying? Expensive clothes. Now, I don't see how the world you do that. Like, go ahead.
You know what? Like, I was listening to something with I think his name is Akon, right?
Okay.
So like Akon said he has a 10% rule, right? So for instance, whatever, if he wants his watch, which might be like $100,000, right? Now, if he don't have $1 million in the book, he are not going to buy it. Because now, whatever, like if you have a 200,000 in the bank, right, and you spend 100,000 on the watch, it's like you going backwards.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because, I agree with that.
Right, because you know what I'm saying, like once you buy that watch, whatever, you know what I'm saying, like that watch you spent, I mean that the money that you spent, whatever, it's not going to be like the same. Well, the value of the watch is not going to be the same like once you leave that store. So get something that is valuable and also whatever, like it goes up in sales,
value,
right?
In value,
Yeah,
increases in value.
Yeah.
So I do agree with that. As far as when you spend money, don't buy just whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta waste some money. You get what I'm saying?
Of course.
Then don't waste too much money.
Right.
Like for me doing this year, man, I just went to spend it, frivolously spending, right? But at the same time, I realized like I had to get a grip on my spending and limited it to, okay, this amount per week. You get what I'm saying? This amount per month. Right. If I go over that, then I need to sit my butt down or, find a hustle. Yeah. And that's why I agree with when you're trying to make money, make sure you make enough money that you can spend X amount of dollars per week, per month, however you do, aside of your bills. Take care of home first, then spend money accordingly after, right? And women look at this. Some women look at it. Let me put it like that. Some jewels, they look at it. Right. So we're gonna go into saving. Why is it important to save?
I mean, savings is good because you never know, like when you have an emergency. And you never know when it's going to come. Mm-hmm. So just like now, like the hurricane, you know, like I feel sorry for the people that's up north, Florida. You know, like they is losing damn near everything.
Facts. So
and I wish them the best. But savings is very important. But saving is good if you're not. I mean, savings is good, but I'd rather invest.
Gotcha.
Instead of saving.
Right.
When I invest, I have a maybe 75% chance that, I'm going to come back with,
more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's how I feel.
So, and I don't disagree with that as well. I don't disagree with it, but what I say to add on to it is you save for emergency.
Right, of course.
Mainly. Right. So like how you just put. Now, the people that's dealing with the storm, now, if they don't have nothing saved, they're not going to have anything. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? They're going to have to wait on the insurance company. Right. And that's only if they get to them. Right. Or that's, how insurance company, they don't want to pay out. Yeah. Right. They don't want to pay out. Right. You get what I'm saying? So I believe in saving for a reason. Right. You save for in case of emergency. Right. Now, after you save, then you take some of that money and you invest it.
Of course.
Right. After you done save your I believe in 3 months to 6 months of all your expenses you must save. Right. And that's including your kids, yourself, yourself, your kids, and your wife. Right. The family. Right. And then thereafter you can kind of put that savings towards investing, right? And then you'll gain money over time as well. Right. So I do agree with the saving. And what about contributing or charitable contributions?
I think that's very important because no one's saying like everybody will need help. Because the way I see it, whatever, like someone helped you. So for instance, whatever, like if you have a job, like the person who owned that company gave you a chance to.
I don't disagree.
Provide for your family. Yeah. So, it's always good to give back. Even if you don't even have it like that, still do it. Because that person needed more than you.
Gotcha. And with me, what I agree with the charitable contribution is, like, for me, I give it to the church.
Right.
Like, I give a percentage to the church.
Okay.
Right. So I don't give it to Red Cross, Blue Shield, anyone of that sort. Now, if that was the case where I had to, I would give them my clothes. Okay. Right. So I give my clothes, or if I don't need the furniture in my house or don't need the pots and pans, like no more, I would give it away, especially if I don't use it. Right.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Really.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I agree. Yeah. Or like even like helping my friends out. If I know that I don't have something, like you were saying with the CMOS,
right?
Like you was getting all of these orders,
right?
And I was like, bro, you could use my blenders.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That I'm not. So I try to give it to my friends that I'm associated with that are, that may be in need of it.
Right.
All right. So we talked about the mental, the physical, financial, and let's talk about the social security. And the reason for bringing that up is because of I want to say, we have to communicate with people. So with us communicating with individuals, we have to have some type of knowledge, but ability to socialize.
Right.
And I think that men, aces, have a hard or a difficult time to communicate with women, our kids,
right,
even at the job.
Of course, of course.
I know we use like physical ability,
right?
Like we'll get physical with a person to prove our point,
right,
or to make a statement,
right,
instead of just using your words. Having the ability to text,
right,
communicate, right, some form, some way.
Right.
So how you feel about that?
Well, I think that's important. But you can't talk to everybody on the same way.
I agree.
I mean, cause everybody's not on your level mentally.
Gotcha.
Matter of fact, like it was this quote I had heard from Marcus Garvey. He said that if you could read one book a week for 7 years straight, you can have a conversation with anybody. And I had to sit back and thinking, like, hold on,
that was good, bro.
And like, I understand what he meant, because like you have so much knowledge in your head to the point that like you could talk about any topic that actually gonna come your way.
Yeah, I agree.
But with me, I can't talk to no fool. That's one thing I won't do.
Gotcha.
And I know a fool because I've been a fool before.
I like that.
I would actually walk away from a fool. Because I don't want to go back to where I was at. Right.
And with that statement, I definitely agree with you. Sometimes when a person just want to argue for no reason, with no substance, no point, right, I just be quiet. Because it doesn't make sense to go back and forth with like how you just mentioned, the fool.
Of course.
Right. So I say with communication, I believe this, that men should and need to learn how to open their mouth and use their words when they're tired, when they want to be left alone, the reasons why they want to be left alone, or the reason why they need a person to be in their life. I understand that I don't believe in us being simps or soft, right? But I believe we just need to vocalize what we are not just feeling, but what we are thinking. Right. So if she comes in the house and she's agitating, hey, listen, don't agitate my spirit.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Don't aggravate me with the nonsense. Come with me. Come to me with substance. Right. What you have to say with that?
I mean, that's very important, because like energy is everything.
Everything.
Don't waste your voice on something that's not even important.
I like that.
That's very that's.
I like that. So what I also have is staying behind. Right. So we in the modern day, we have technology. So sometimes us males or aces, we stay behind. Understand this too, people. Tribe. Let me put it this way. Understand this too, tribe. Insecurity, you have to be well balanced. As an individual, you have to stay on point. Right. So that's the reason why I bring up the whole modern with technology. You have to stay on point in order to stay relevant. Other than that, you get lost in the sauce. You get lost in the shuffle. People stop caring for you because you don't know how to communicate on their frequency. Right. So for me, if my son was, let's say, on Facebook, and I know that he is, an avid Facebook user, sometimes I'm going to just communicate with him on Facebook. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to stay behind the fold or behind the veil, not moving with the time. Because sometimes you be more effective if you learn how to communicate on whoever you're trying to reach frequency. So what you say with that?
Well, I think that's important, but also this too. I noticed that a lot of people is stuck in their own ways, and
I agree.
They don't want to, learn. But I think like as you grow, you should continue to learn. Me, I'm always a student. Like I'm always trying to learn something new. And I think that's very important right there.
Right, I think so. Me too, as well. being teachable.
Right.
Right. So you can come in, you can teach me something new, and I gravitate to it.
Right. Of course.
One thing I noticed with the people I watch as I was growing up was they always stay stuck in their ways.
Right.
And I tell myself on a day-to-day basis, don't stay stuck in your ways.
Right.
Always try to stay young at heart.
Right.
You know, so when you think about the physical, staying physically fit and stuff like that, I know I'm not physically fit, but to my best, right? But I am somewhat of a mobile person, meaning that I still can do
the basic things.
Yes.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was telling myself as I was growing up, don't ever get stuck in any type of rugged way.
Right.
Well, I'm resisting to be a person that is like advancing.
Right.
Right. So if new technology come, I won't try to shun it. I try to welcome it, but stay within the lines of how I live my life. Right. The man structure that I feel like is best for me. You get what I'm saying? And what I have grown to become. Right. So what you have to say with that?
I think that like you should grow in time. Also gravitate to like whatever come your way. You know what I'm saying? Like any new technology or whatever out. Just actually, man, just don't try to learn it.
Right.
I think that's very important.
I agree.
Never be left behind.
Well said. Never be left behind.
Never left behind.
So I'm gonna welcome this. Introduce this advice.
Yeah.
Now, for me, and what I have seen and what I even encountered in my life was that a lot of males do not welcome advice because they think they know it all, right? We can be stubborn individuals,
right?
Brutes, I always call it, right?
Yeah. So
what you have to say with that, bro?
Well, you know what? I learned this from this older guy on my job named John.
Okay.
He told me, a fool is someone who say they know but don't know. A wise person is a person who say, I don't know, but teach me.
Yeah.
So never say that you know something, but you don't know because you'll be left behind.
Right.
So.
Right. I'm always the first to raise my hand, especially at my job, to learn the new stuff. You know, be welcoming. Right. Now, other people may feel some type of way about it, but I don't, because I feel like I'm here to work. Right. And if I want to advance my skills, that's what I come to do.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I remember when I was working at Target and we had to learn the little electrical gun where you had to select orders and stuff from, right? So you had to follow whatever was on the particular machine and you would have to scan, put it in a basket and stuff like that. So there was a way to reset everything because I couldn't find the different items within the code, right? That between what I was selecting from, the box I was selecting from. Right. So I was like, man, how do you get rid of it? And so I asked one of the supervisors, and he didn't know. So I had to go to somebody else that did know. And when I did, I learned that skill. Right. So one time I was making orders and the manager or the supervisor came by and they was like, man, you don't ask questions like other people. I said, yeah, because I learned how to use the gun. So one time they hired a new supervisor that was working in the front to come to the back, and she did not know how to use, like, to reset it. So I had showed her. Right. And she's like, you should consider being the supervisor. I said, nah, I like the position that I'm in, because I knew I was going to move somewhere else eventually. But, you know, that's what I believe in, always trying to welcome. New. Right. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Now with, I believe we are talking about advice, receiving advice from people. I feel like this, just like a pastor gives a message, as well as older people should give a message, and it should be well received, far as like parents, people that you work with, and people that you even come in contact with. Like, I never shun advice. Right. You get what I'm saying? Because I understand that it will help me to go from one level to the next. What you got to say with that?
Well, I think this. Be careful of the advice that you get.
Okay.
Listen to good advice. Take it in. The bad advice,
leave it where it's at.
Leave it where it's at.
I agree. And
also this, be careful who you take advice from, because like everybody is not good for you.
I agree.
Like older folks, whatever. I mean, I'll take my hat off to them, because they taught me so much. But also this, like as you get older, you start to undiscover yourself, and you just learn things on your own. And whatever you learn, you try your best to teach others.
Right.
And never keep like information unto yourself. That's not good.
I agree with that. What my mom used to tell me was eat the fish and leave the bones.
Right.
Sometimes when people come to you, you got to learn when to just dump some of that stuff they say, and the stuff that is good for you to eat that and digest that as you go on in life. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was prayer.
Oh man, that's important.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
As far as men, I think we need to pray a little bit more.
Right.
To be more secure within ourselves and confident, as a man overall. So what you have to say with that, bro?
I think praying is very important, whatever. I think like the reason why I got to where I'm at now because of God, without him I won't be nowhere.
Right. And I agree. With me, with prayer is I believe it helps you through unforeseen things.
Any situation.
Yep.
Yeah.
As well as with prayer comes a little bit of silence with guidance.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So you were looking for an answer, and it comes in a way that you don't see. But you have to be silent in position as well in order to, kind of receive. Well, not kind of, but to receive.
Right.
Right. And you have anything else you want to say?
I think God working in mysterious ways. You know what I'm saying? Ask and you shall receive. But you're going to receive it not in the way that you want it, but it's going to be in his way.
Yeah.
Always think positive, man. Despite on like how things might look. Don't look at now. Look at the future. Never look at eyesight. Always look at mindsight. So eyesight is basically what you see, right?
Right.
Mindsight is where you see yourself at. That's very important.
Like that.
Mindset. Mindsight is telling you it's very important.
I like that, bro. Any final words before we close it out?
Listen, man, just stay focused on keep on God first, and that's it.
Okay, so I'm glad for you to come on. Appreciate you taking out your time to be with us. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and leave a comment. So I'm your boy DP. It's my boy Tavarse, and we Geminis Gemz. That's Geminis with the S, Gems with the Z, and what we do, we drop them gems. Drop some gems, bro. Yeah. All right, y'all. Y'all take care. You gonna say bye, bro? You so nervous. All right, y'all.